welcome to yet an interesting adventurous adventure. You know, guys, I'm always in the streets, moving up and down, hunting for these writers, hunting for these creators, even hunting for these book retailers, just to bring exquisite quality content for you guys. And hey, today it's just another eclectic conversation with Mr. Samuel Chamboko. Sir, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to see you.
Congratulations on is Brilliance of Hope your debut contributory work or
Formal, yes.
all right?
But I've done some other. I used to write for a Pan African magazine. It was
Wow.
an online publication back in the day.
Okay.
But yes, this is formally my first published work.
How does it feel?
Um, Very exciting. To see your name up in lights, as it were. But
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
it's very exciting.
Man, I'm excited for you. Like I think from a young writer's perspective, and also getting to sit down with a person who has taken time to contribute to the heritage and culture of storytelling and getting to immortalize this conversation. It's something that is so eclectic. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you're a very busy man. I don't want to take much of your time. So in an interview, right? You once said, right? And I'm quoting you. I want to be remembered as someone who wrote stories for ordinary people to enjoy nothing abstract. What do you mean by that? What was going through your mind? Take us through that.
Um, what is going through my mind essentially is the writing style that some writers have and my own philosophy when it comes to writing. I want to read something, or I want to write for ordinary people. As you know, we're in a university setting and we get a lot of people who write for academic purposes. It is obviously different from the way that I would want to write. I want to write in simple language for ordinary people to read a story once and enjoy it. That's what I want to do, and not to have to think about you know what it any abstract meaning that it might have. I just want to write for ordinary people, for simple, for the guy in the street to read a story and immediately get into it and enjoy it. That's
So basically, the concept of own or owned, right? That's one of your guiding principles in writing.
absolutely. You are because I am because you are.
Okay.
Yes.
Nah,
Yeah. So
mhm.
yeah, so that's essentially part of the philosophy, part of the thought process behind all these things that it's meant for all of us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So let us look at the stories that you wrote, right? So the first story is Journey from Without and Mabugo to Marylebone.
Malibon.
Marylebone.
Yeah.
Marylebone. Okay. So we're gonna start with Journey from Without, right? So it is a coming of age story, right? The story carries like for me when I look at it, it carries an aura or metamorphosis of reflection of the contemporary discourse around the coming of age of the African. So to me, it carries a double entendre aura to it. So was it a metaphor to it of coming of age? Is it coming of age of Africa, like we like in general, like I'm 60 years old as a continent, or is it a coming of age like physically of an individual who is coming of age and coming into his reality? What was going? What does yeah?
Yeah, I think it's more of the latter. It is a physical coming of age of young people. These three young Zimbabweans who decided to venture out into the world to seek their fortune, and it just so happened that they decided that they were going to cross the river and come to South Africa to see what you know.
Opportunities lie. Okay.
Yes. In the proverbial city of gold.
Hey.
Yes.
I think when I look at the city of gold, it has consumed, it has spit out a lot, and it has shown a lot of people um, the good and the bad and
Yeah,
the ugly.
yeah.
So coming of age, it's is it like a physical coming of age or like emotionally in your own
I think
perspective?
it's more of economic
Okay.
rather. Yes, because these are people who are coming here purely for economic opportunities.
Yes.
I don't think there's any spiritual or any other coming of age that I tried to capture in that story. Maybe actually sexual coming of age.
Okay.
Yes, is
Yes.
to a slight extent captured in the book, but it's more of economic.
Mm.
These the story sort of chronicles their physical journey, how they moved from one place to another, and effectively it took them more than 6 months for them to move to travel from their village, which is about 100 kilometers from the Zimbabwean South African border
Yeah.
to Johannesburg. So
Yes.
it was a long journey for them,
Mm.
but eventually they did. So the journey, the coming of age is more economic coming of age.
Mm-hmm.
It's to seek economic opportunity.
Opportunities.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So the three friends, right, in the story, were they intentional?
I think when I was writing the story, I needed to to show three different characters. One who is resilient,
Mm.
one who gives up right at the start, and these are normal things, normal characters that we have in ordinary people.
Yes.
The people who try out something,
Yes.
and at the first hurdle
Yes.
they give up.
Oh yeah.
Then there are people who go with something and keep pushing,
Yes.
then they also get to the end of their tether.
Yeah.
Then there are some people who just don't give up.
You don't give in. So we're still on the three friends. When I look at the number three, like it gives me the idea of a triangle. Are we looking at like stability in three, or there's no like significance of it?
Like I said,
Mm.
there's nothing abstract. It
Hmm.
was just those three characters that I
Yeah.
wanted to bring out in the story. So there's there's nothing more to it.
Wow.
It was just three friends. They just so happened to be three.
Yeah.
It could have been four,
Yeah.
but I had limited space
Okay.
to explore the characters
Yes.
of four um, individuals in a short story. So
Okay.
I just limited it to three.
I see. When you always digging your head in books, as a creative, you wanna look at the
Yes.
everything. Ah, that's so cool. That's
Yes.
lovely. So, take us through your writing style. How do you describe it?
Um, I want my writing style to be very descriptive, to be
Hmm.
transportive. I think
Oh,
that's one word that has been used.
yeah.
I want it to take you to their village,
Yes.
to take you to the farm where they worked in Zanin,
Oh,
to take you to the township where they first arrived, where they were first received when they got to Johannesburg.
yes.
Actually, it's an informal settlement just outside in
Yes.
Centurion
Mm-hmm.
called Spruit. So,
Uh-huh.
so I want to describe it in such a way that you, as the reader,
Mm-hmm.
are there.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, you can visualize, you can smell the place. You can,
Yeah, yeah.
you are there.
The texture of the story that takes
Exactly.
the reader into it.
Exactly.
Lovely.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so I think my writing style, I can call it transportive.
Transportive.
Yes.
Wow. That's so cool. That's so cool. So, like when I was going through the story, you weaved in the Karanga traditions, the Karanga customs. Were you giving the reader or the community other perspectives of what other cultures? What's the whole idea or your intention behind?
So
Yeah.
the intention of writing actually,
Mm.
the bigger goal is to tell African stories
Mm.
from an African perspective.
True.
So if this story were to be written by a Westerner, there's certain cultural nuances that they would never understand. So we are now trying to take our culture
Yes,
to the world
to the world. Yeah,
and explain it
yeah.
the way we see it with all those subtle idiosyncrasies
Okay.
about it to the world.
Yes,
So I'm a big fan of Chinua Achebe,
yes, yes, yes,
and he's the first one to do that. When he
yes.
was writing those stories about Okonkwo, about
Mm-hmm.
wrestling, about Obierika, and
Mm-hmm.
about palm wine, and all those things.
Morphia.
Yes,
Yeah.
and all those things are not part of Western culture. They're very, very African.
Yes.
So I'm just continuing in that same vein, where
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to tell our stories from a Karanga perspective, because I'm a Karanga person.
Yes.
To take our stories to the world
Ah.
from a Karanga perspective. So it's
Oh.
just continuing what our
Mm-hmm.
forebears like Achebe did,
Okay.
and just trying to tell authentic African stories.
True, 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 true. So tell now we're gonna go like a minor detour into from Mabuku to
Malibon.
Malibon. Oh my goodness,
Yeah. Malibon is
Malibon.
a very
Mm.
posh place in West London.
Okay.
So you might know Mavuku. Mavuku
Yeah.
is a ghetto
Yeah.
in Zimbabwe. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a person who moved from Mavuku
To Malibon.
and ended up in very, very posh West London in Malibon.
Because Mabuku is like the feeder town to the industry, to the major industries in Harare.
Yes, yes, yes.
Interesting. So migration. What did you have you observed about migration so far?
There there are two things to migration. Either it becomes a complete tragedy,
Hmm.
where migrants move and things just don't work out,
True.
or it becomes a huge success story.
Word.
So migration, from time immemorial, has been littered with
Yeah.
those two type of stories.
Okay.
Stories of either tragedy or triumph. So
Yeah.
it is still the same to this day. Migrants who move all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
either end up being hugely successful,
Mm-hmm.
or end up living in very, very desperate situations.
Oh, on. Now I see what you mean. Like from Mabuku to Malibon, from rags to riches, from a 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Kind of like okay.
Yes, but there's a twist to the story.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's it doesn't have a happy ending. I don't want to spoil it.
Obviously. No.
Yes,
No. Yes.
in as much as it is a sort of a rags
Riches.
to riches story.
Yeah.
It's actually more than that. It's a riches to rags to riches,
To
and it continues
oh,
like
like
that.
an adulating
Yes,
journey into
yes. So
the yeah.
it's almost like a proper cycle of life. You go through peaks and troughs, and
That's our life.
yeah, that's how
True.
life is.
Interesting. So, the aspect of family, like I'm taken aback to the way you mentioned that Chinua Achebe. He explores around that aspect, and it's something that is so paramount within the African society. So, family within your story, like on the topic, where you're discussing.
African writers have a story to tell. African writers have observations that they wish to share. African writers love to tell their own African story. A warm welcome to the African Writers Conversation.